All right, assume the position and look for spontaneous signals, because I'm going to be talking about Bill Pelly curing hepatitis B, the turning point of my life. And you'll probably be getting some spontaneous signals. That's an athletic field across the way from the wildlife area that you're hearing these people shout, in case you're wondering if somebody's being murdered. No, actually, it's just probably lacrosse, you know. Around the end of 1995, I received a phone call that made my blood run cold. I had the feeling of the elevator cable snapping in my stomach, you know, that feeling in your stomach, you know. It was Bill on the phone telling me that he had hepatitis B. But this time it was different. In previous times, in the 80s and the early 90s too, people came to me told me, you know, that they were HIV positive. My students, I taught success seminars, and I had a reputation. You know, I really was a person who created magical careers for people, and we had fun back in those good old days when I did that stuff. And a lot of those people are still around, still have magical careers, but then there were the ones who died in the epidemic, which still rages through Africa now. Boy, so much time has passed. You see, the people who called me with HIV, at first I held out that there was hope, and, you know, we could manifest our way out of this one, and then they died. And after a while I started to see it as a death sentence the way everybody else did. And then more of them died. And then I discovered that you could cure stuff. And this was after I had lost a lot of people. This was 1993. That was when I cured my herpes. And that was when it started to dawn on me. You know, it was slow. I mean, it's not like now. Like, you guys, man, I got to hand it to you, you know. You guys are off and running in a week, you know. It's like, wow. It's pretty amazing, you know, what people do with this. You know, and the way they're able to help their friends. You know, people, like, a week later, they know that people can cure things, and they're curing other people. You know, their friends are curing things, and it all happens. But man, back then I was slow, really slow. Like, I didn't want to get anybody's hopes up, and you know, I told people I cured my herpes, but I actually wasn't training people until Edith Huber dumped cancer in my lap that she just got diagnosed with, and then I cured her. And that was a turning point for me too, but nothing like Bill. Bill was the turning point. Okay, Edith was 93. And see, of course, Edith was taking medication and all, so that was different, you know. That's a good story. You got to hear that. Yeah, tell it elsewhere, you know. The cancer cure story. the cancer cure show. Anyway, see, Bill, when Bill talked to me, in the middle of the call, I realized that I could win. This one, I could win with this. You know, we could kill this thing. And I said to him, "Come on over." You know what? I just realized, my God, I forgot to mention, see, some people find this through a search in YouTube, like they'll do a search on hepatitis. You don't know what I'm talking about. What does assume the position mean? What are spontaneous signals? You have no idea. You have to do lesson 1. Lesson 1, this website. Or, you know, if you actually found it through this page, it's the movie that started playing when the page opened, in case you turned that off because you decided you wanted to watch this first. No, you do lesson 1 first. That's why we call it lesson 1. Okay, so this website, click on hepatitis. Anyway, so I told Bill, get over here. You know, it's funny, now that I'm thinking about this. The other day I was watching what was actually an earlier version of the HIV CureMovie, which is on the HIV Cure Show page. And I had my arm like this, you know, and I was watching, and all of a sudden I noticed, now I'm doing, see, notice my fingers moving, well, I'm doing that purposely, but that's what it looked like. And I realized that I was getting spontaneous signals while I was talking in the movie. And I didn't notice them. Well, they were coming. I noticed them when I was watching the movie the next day, but I didn't notice them when they were coming. I bet that I get thousands of spontaneous signals each. I probably got 10 in the course of 2 minutes as I was watching. And I bet I get thousands of them each day that I don't notice. I wonder if you do. I wonder if people do before they ever learn there's any such thing as a spontaneous signal, that the signals are coming, you know. I guess you'd never be able to know something like that. You know, that they were always coming, they were coming all along, and you just never noticed them. Okay, so Bill came over. I'm keep doing these digressions in the middle of telling you this story. Bill came over, we went to Wissahickon Park, and took a run up by the river, you know, and I don't like to talk when I'm running. So we were jogging along, and in the middle of it, I realized I just couldn't go on jogging any longer. I actually got like really excited about this, you know, because I had started to believe I could win. Because if you can kill any virus, you can kill any other virus, right? I mean, at least, you know, that was the thought that occurred to me, you know, at that point. I mean, maybe not, but so far, it seems like in my long years of showing thousands of people how to kill viruses, that nobody ever fails. I mean, unless they fail. I mean, unless they don't do it, you know. There's probably more of them that don't do it, you know, the ones that just look at it and they go, I can't do this, or what is it, or whatever, you know. And they're out of here, you know. But then the ones that do it, they get a negative medical test. So we stopped and we leaned against the fence, you know, and we were leaning over the fence post looking at the creek, and we worked out how to kill hepatitis B. Now, at the time, I didn't know what I know now, which is, to be continued in the next segment,